If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First off, it's free, and you know I love free. Free 99 all day, every day. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, one of these platforms of choice, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right. Got my bottle of rosé because after Easter and Jesus turned the water into wine, and I will sip tonight.
Okay.
You are now tuned into FNL Radio.
Run for cover, motherfucker.
You are now tuned to FNL Live with Doc and Monique. Time to laugh your ass off.
You are now tuned.
Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another FNL Radio. Now, first off, let me do my other intro for you all. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. This is FNL Radio. You listen to Fat Cat Ministries. Day after Easter service. The service is really good. You know, there was one outside. I saw a cat take a piss outside, and it did its thing and did a doo-doo behind the tree. There were squirrels outside as well. And it was so lovely and bright and just rainy and windy today. So I hope the cats didn't get blown away. Shout out to the killer herself, Carol Baskin. So everyone, welcome to FNL Radio. It's your boy Doc and got Monique on the other end as well.
Hey there, all my loves. How is everybody doing out there tonight?
Yes, all you cool cats and kittens.
Okay.
Now, we have a jam-packed show for you all, but it's not so jam-packed because of the other stories. Like, it's not a whole lot of stories, but it's one story in particular, people.
That we're probably going to spend a little bit of time on.
Exactly.
More than usual.
Right, exactly. But it's going to be hella worth it for you all, people. But before we started, people, you know, as we always do on FNL, we got to start off with a little medley, a little mega mix, if you will. And a couple of nights ago was the premiere of the Clark sisters, First Ladies of Gospel biopic. You heard us talk about it before on the show, but now it finally premiered, and we got a lot to talk about it. First off, let me let the train go by. Who is this night? Just Amtrak. Amtrak coming over here kicking up that dirt for Newport News.
Keep the shit up here.
But first, like we said, people going to get into the mega mix of the First Ladies of Gospel, the Clark sisters, everybody. So let's get into this little mega mix real quick for you all.
Hey.
Y'all know the vibes with this one.
You gave me peace. You gave me grace. You put a smile upon my face. Come on, Twinkie. In my life, you're the love. In my life, you pull me through trials. brought me through tribulations. Never let a day go by. No, was on my side. Back was against the wall. Looked out for me. He heard my cry and rescued me. Never let a day go by. And I realized John take it for granted. We are here today. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored. Just know that we are blessed and highly favored.
All right, y'all people. Not no mega church. We back in the.
Come on, Denise.
I guess we're at Grandma Church right now.
It's my praying day. Say that all again, Twinkie.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my time. Can the clock be rewind? Can the clock be rewind? Come on, have a let my light shine.
Yeah.
Have I let my light shine? And this is all what we want to hear him say. Have I made 99? No! It's not all in vain. Goes up the road. It's eternal gain.
We want to do this little song for you, and the name of it
I'm
is...
still keeping it in church for you all people.
And I know that you're wondering, where in the world did she get that name from? I remember in some of the testimonial services that I played in, this certain phrase was being shouted out among the mouths of the saints. And every once in a while I'd hear, "Hiya!" How many of y'all ever heard one of them mothers shout out, "Hiya!" That is a Hebrew tongue. And the name of this Hebrew tongue means life.
Some of y'all might know where the sample is this comes from now.
Denise said you can hear her all through this song. Apostle Denise Bradford.
Yes, can't forget the apostle.
Yeah.
If y'all went to church enough, y'all know about this one.
I know one who cares, found in him peace of mind. I know one who's there, found a friend so loving and kind. I know a man who cares, found in him peace of mind. I know a man who's there, found a friend so loving and kind.
Gilead,
There is a
the
bomb
bomb
in
in
Gilead.
Gilead. There is a bomb in Gilead. There is a bomb in Gilead.
Medicine used in the Bible days.
To heal the sick and take the pain away. Medicine used in the
Bible
Bible
days.
days.
To heal
The
the
sick
sick
and
and
take
the
the
pain
pain
away.
away. There's a bomb in Gilead. There is a bomb. There is a bomb. I used to listen to this song every day in college. There is a bomb.
Now, there's a few in the bomb of Gilead, but moving on to some 2020 Clark Sisters right now. Everyone, victory.
We declare victory. Victory over your life. Every now and then it's hard to see, but you got to decree and see victory. We declare victory. Victory over your life. Don't be mistaken. God knows your need, but you got to decree and see victory.
All right, everybody. That was our Clark Sisters medley tribute right there. Shout out to the Clark Sisters.
Thank you.
Yes.
Woo! Hallelujah.
What do you do with everyone?
Come on.
This your Pastor Doc right here, everyone. Pastor tithes and offering around.
See how you do.
No, but definitely we had to give a tribute to Clark Sisters right there, everybody, because we'll talk about some stories later on in the show. But we've definitely had to give them their flowers, though. I'm going to review the movie, of course, too, but we definitely had to give them their flowers because the Clark Sisters is one of those groups, I grew up in church, so I always listen to all types of gospel, and their voices always stuck out to me, all of their songs and stuff like that. And still to this day, even with their 2020 music, how they combine their voices together, they sing on key.
Harmonize very well.
Yeah, they harmonize really well, except for one sister. We want to talk about her. But they definitely harmonize, and then it just give you chills, even to this day. So shout out to Clark Sisters for sure.
I don't think that I can't say that there's not a person that listens to us, but those of us, like you said, who definitely grew up in the church, now I'm not Kojic, honey. Because I know how they get down, but I am a Baptist. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. I grew up Galilee Baptist Church, Newport News, 850 28th Street, Newport News, Virginia. So that was downtown. But at the same time, like you said, if you actually grew up in the church, then you definitely know about the Clark Sisters, your choir. If you was on the junior minister choir like I was, you definitely said some Clark Sisters songs. Is my living in vain? He brought the sunshine. My other favorite, miracles. I've got the miracle.
That's when they were DC.
Every day. God
That's when they
can make a way. Yes.
yes.
So just believe and receive it. So anyway, I'm not gonna give y'all too much, but you guys know, again, those of us who grew up in the church, honey, we know about some Clark sisters. They are definitely the first ladies of gospel. I definitely enjoyed that tribute, that take back. I remember Karen Clark Sheard's first solo project. Definitely still have that in my CD collection. Like I said, in my undergrad experience, I probably listened to There Is a Bomb in Gilead just about every day. And then there was another track that her and Kiara Sheard, her daughter, did together. This song called "Accept What God Allows." I don't know if you know about that one, Reggie, honey, but I know all the parts, all the ad libs, all of it. So yes, definitely I enjoyed the movie Saturday night. I think you enjoyed the movie as well on Saturday night. Now listen, we gonna review, and we got a little bit of something else to review along with it. But
Yes.
definitely, like you said, definitely they need to get their flowers while they live. Again, the first ladies of gospel that they are. But it's too bad. The black sheep of the family, she hasn't been getting all her flowers while she lives, and we're gonna talk about that and speak on that a little bit later in the show.
Let her tell she's not giving the dead flower. But we're going to talk about her later on in the show, everybody. But how your week have been, everybody? Like mentioned, yesterday was Easter. Well, by the time you listen to the show, Sunday was Easter. So let me just put it that way. Sunday was Easter, everybody. And this year is different for a lot of people because you all know that we're in the quarantine and chill segment of life right now, everybody. Churches are closed. Shout out to New Union AME Church, my church I grew up going to. Now, Reverend Knight, I'm not sure if you were attempted to do a live stream on Easter from your backyard for 9 minutes, but I was expecting like a full service. I mean, I drove to my parents' house to put the live stream up on the big TV and everything, and it was only 9 minutes, and then it went out. But shout out to the Mount. They were live streaming at 10 a.m. and about 11 a.m. There was an hour in and everything. So
Yeah, I told you so. When I get back to church, I am gonna join AME. So that God has been laying that heavy on my heart. But I know for all you niggas that typically go with Easter, Mother's Day, and Christmas, I guess you
right.
niggas was hurt this year. But like I told you yesterday, as I was going to Walmart, there's a little, and like I said, Reggie, I don't know if you noticed it because when you came to the house the last time, it was nighttime. But as you're coming into our neighborhood on the left hand side, there's a little black church on the road or whatever. They look like they was having service, and I don't know if they was letting people in. You know what? I rolled my window down. I was like, "Oh, y'all ain't supposed to do that." They had some people out there, and some smarts looked like they was directing the traffic. I saw a drum set outside, so I don't know if they was actually gonna have the service outside and then you just sit in your car and enjoy the service, or what the case may be. By the time I came back from Walmart, they had already cleared out the parking lot. But definitely my goal was to actually get up that morning and stream some type of service, but it was after 11 o'clock when I woke up. you know I still have a relationship with God, don't judge me, but it was after 11 when I woke up on Sunday morning. But definitely, like I said, I miss actually being in the actual church this year. But Big Rona is still here. She is still very much alive and well. She is kicking our asses. And then I just heard today, actually, one of the, speaking of Kojic, one of the bishops of one of the mega Kojic churches here in Richmond
Yeah.
actually passed away. Bishop Glenn, from the coronavirus. He passed yesterday.
Yeah, he has a New Deliverance evangelistic church, and he said he wasn't going to leave the building, even with Big Rona out here in these streets. He's still going to run service from the church. And
Yeah.
in the words of Della Reese, diabetes and get him. He got that. So whatever Della Reese said back in the day was foolish, but
Yeah.
but Corona got him.
Yeah, and that's actually one of my girlfriend, Katia, that I went to undergrad. She actually was born and raised, grew up in Richmond, and she had been going to his church ever since she was a little girl. I haven't talked to her, but that's her pastor, or Bishop O'Glenn or Bishop Glenn. You know, like I said, I ain't grown up in a Kojic environment, so you know, it is what it is. But I'm definitely very sorry to hear that, because from my understanding, his wife had it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in the hospital as well. She is reported to be doing much better, but I believe, I'm not sure, but they said, I think his daughter and grandchildren were also living in the house with them as well, and they are now in the hospital. The daughter and the grandchildren are also in the hospital as well. But like you said, you know, he was determined that he was not going to cancel Sunday service, so
That's right.
it's very sad.
Yes, and I believe he had his last sermon at church. It was on the 22nd, I think. Then he started feeling sick on the 25th. He was 66 years old. He made several trips to the doctor, but his symptoms were thought to be just from his underlying health condition. On April 3rd, he tested positive for the COVID-19, and he died a week later on April 11th, which is very sad. His wife said, I want to say, people don't take anything, push, and keep pushing, because I think the doctors are doing everything they can and do know to do. This is so new. Like you said, his son, daughter-in-law, daughters and son-in-law are all hospitalized, but they're expected to be okay as well. People, and like we said, we've been seeing churches still having congregations inside, regard, you know, even though they've been saying that, look, don't have church and service, you know, don't have service, you know, in buildings where you close together. I see churches having parking lot service where people are in their cars, like it's a drive-in theater,
But
but
they
they
still got them collection plates going.
right,
I
okay,
have seen that as well.
yes, pass it from window to window with gloves on. And then also in Kentucky, they said if you saw anybody out in the streets at church on Easter, call in and be a snitch real quick. Now I know they're getting out rewards, but I would have gotten a reward real quick if I saw a church.
Yeah, this is definitely serious. It's nothing to play with. You know, again, I don't know what to say, but you know, you guys have got to practice social distancing. Again, we cannot stress the importance enough of how it is very important to continue to keep washing your hands for 20 minutes. You need to bleach, disinfect everything down, you know,
Mm-hmm.
several times a day. When you're out in public, definitely wear your mask. I think, you know, if you guys don't have the N95 mask, you guys, the cloth mask will do. Definitely, you know, wear your gloves. You need to dispose of them as soon as you get to a place where you can dispose of them. Again, come back in the house, wash your hands, that type of thing. But this is definitely, it is something serious. You cannot take this lightly. You have to stay safe.
Exactly, people. You have to stay safe right now because, you know, again, there's different things that's coming out as well. Now they're saying, you know, wear a face mask, just a way to properly wear it, though. And I think we touched on this last week where we told you all, if you wear a mask, make sure you're not one of those people who just wearing the mask just to wear it and don't know how to really, you know, take care of yourself while doing it. You have to cover your nose, everybody. I've seen people out here in these streets just covering their mouth but not covering their nose. That's the most important part you need to cover up as well, people, is your nose. Cover your nose. If you have long enough to cover your chin, especially if you have a beard as well, just cover enough to where you can cover your chin as well, where you can get the full capacity of the mask. If you have one of those disposable masks that you just have to throw away, people, make sure that the by the parts that cover your or that hang on your ear, take the mask off that way and hold it by those pieces and throw it in the trash. Don't throw it on the ground or anything like that, because the people that's working at the grocery stores, who we have to be thankful for because they're still out here risking their lives, basically, because y'all, I'm pretty sure, still got the COVID-19 in these streets running around. They had to, you know, dispose of that trash as well. Even though they had the
Mhm.
proper gloves and everything, that's still going to be, you know, a risk factor. So
Yes, and then also when you are taking your gloves off, you should, you know how normally, just like, you know, when we wear gloves when in the wintertime when it snows and when it's very cold, you know how we would take them off finger, you know, you would kind of grab the fingers and take them off. When you are removing your gloves from your hands during this crisis, you should go into the inside and kind of roll around at the you know, at the top of the glove. Don't grab them by the fingertips. You go in
mhm.
the inside and you kind of make some wiggle room to wiggle the glove off. And then what you can do is with the first glove you take off, then you kind of you can go and then take that second glove off kind of by the fingertips. But the very
Mm-hmm.
first glove that you take off, you should go in the inside, make some wiggle room,
Yeah.
and kind of remove it that way. Do not grab the gloves by the fingertips.
Yes, everyone. So again, I think I always had a habit of doing that, and I don't know if it's because my mom's a nurse, but I just always had a habit of just taking the gloves off that way. Anyways, even if I'm just doing regular stuff around the house, just cleaning, I just have a habit of taking off my glove that proper way, like you're supposed to. And again, people, wash your hands 20 seconds under warm water with soap. People, not hand sanitizer all the time. Use soap and water, and then use hand sanitizer in between, just as in between type of situation. But don't always rely on just hand sanitizer. Wash your damn hands under your nails and everything, because you're touching everything. If you are wearing gloves, too, people, we can't stress this enough on the show. If you are wearing gloves, don't be one of those people who will wear gloves, touch everything out on the outer surface, and still reach in your purse, reach in your car, and do all this
Yeah,
stuff. And you
because you're
spread
yeah,
it
because you're
everywhere.
yeah, because you're getting it on the things that are in your purse. You're contaminating whatever's in your purse, things like
Yes.
that. So, again, definitely just, and again, the most important thing and the best way to prevent the spread of this thing is to, if you do not have to go out, please stay at
Yeah.
home.
Right.
Again, here in Virginia, the mandatory curfew is still a thing, 8 p.m. So if you do not have your freedom papers, and again, you are caught by the police and it is after 8 o'clock, and if you do not have your freedom papers, you could, again, face what I think it's a $5,000 fine,
Mm-hmm.
jail time. So,
Yes.
I cannot stress enough, if you do not have to go out, please stay in.
Yes, everyone. And again, every state, every county, every city have its own different rules and regulations as far as the lockdown. In Virginia, like we said, in the state and the Commonwealth is till June 10th right now. But the
Which
way
I
y'all
feel like is going to
street,
be extended.
yes, because even my mom, I talked to her earlier today, and she was saying, a couple of weeks ago when they first had everything on lockdown, that it was no traffic outside. She works in Virginia Beach, and then she, travels to her area in Chesapeake where she lives, and she was saying, it was no cars at the time. Traffic, usually at 5 o'clock there's traffic like crazy to get to Chesapeake or just on interstate in general, and there was nobody on the streets. Now she said today it was traffic coming back. I'm like, yo, like y'all need to stay your ass home, like for real. Like y'all think this is a game? Black people, we are the number one race right now when it comes to this death race with coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all out here playing the game like thinking, oh, we're immune to the shit. Like we don't have to have anything happen
Yeah.
to us. We good. We still gonna have block parties. We still gonna have quote unquote social gatherings, but it's like 20 motherfuckers in the house, and it's not even a house, it's an apartment at that, and not even a 3 bedroom, but it's nothing like that. It's like a 1 bedroom apartment. All y'all cramped into that hot ass space and bring all them germs here and there. Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, y'all. Like
Yeah,
y'all.
and one of the reasons why it is hitting us so hard, because we as Black people and minorities, we have the
Mm-hmm.
most underlying
Yes.
diseases and conditions. So if you are diabetic, your immune system is weakened.
Mm-hmm.
If you have high blood pressure, your immune system is weakened. If you have COPD, congestive heart failure, your
Mm-hmm.
immune system is weaker. And again,
Yeah.
because we unfortunately, as minorities, we kind of, run a higher rate of those type of diseases anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, it again, it is definitely not good for us. And then also, I'm going to solicit your prayers for my girlfriend Tia, one of my good girlfriends. Her mother, she is from the Emporia, that South Hill area. Her mother is actually in the hospital right now.
Mm-hmm.
She has she's on a ventilator. Tia states that they have said to her that her mother does not have COVID-19, but because her mother has kidney disease,
Mm-hmm.
her immune system is weakened, so she is on a ventilator. Her mother was actually born with one kidney, and she had a transplant a couple of years ago. So a common cold
Yeah.
actually is very, very tough on her. And you know this, Reggie, because your mom is a dialysis nurse. her mother is in the fight of her life. She is actually in the hospital. She has pneumonia right now. When I spoke with her on Friday, she stated that she did not get good news. The doctors did tell her that her mother was not progressing the way they thought that she was going to. She has actually declined, and my friend needs to really think about possibly comfort care hospice measures. So she said they was going to give it a couple of days, monitor her, and then she would, they're going to see what happens, and then they're going to let her know what type of decision that she needs to make. So definitely I solicit your prayers for her. She is stating, yeah, definitely, she is stating that it's not the coronavirus, but again, because her mother's, immune system is already compromised due to the one kidney, and now she's fighting pneumonia. It's very tough out here. And then, I believe the hospital that she's at, I think there are some COVID-19 patients there. So, definitely.
Yes, everyone. Again, take this very serious. It has no race, and like no what you call it, no
Designated race, color, or
yeah,
creed. We all, can catch it, if we're not safe and we don't take the
yeah.
precautionary measures that are put in place. And again, like I said, I'm begging you, and I'm guilty of it too. I told you my husband is guilty of it too, because again, and I get it, you are used to, if you need to run to the store to go get this, that, and the third, you're used to being and just being able to get in your car and go get what you need,
Go,
and come on back.
yeah.
So, I get it. But again, if it's not something that is a necessity, like I will totally admit, I'm up here preaching now, and I went out today. I went to Target, I went to Walmart, I went to two Targets actually. I guess to me, in my mind, they were necessities. You guys know I use the Shea Moisture products to actually cleanse my face. So I use their soap, their hydrating lotion, as well as their toner. And I ran out of toner. So I went to like two Targets. Plus, I felt like it was a necessity because I needed another open house candle. Stuff like that, that is really not a necessity. But I, went and I had my gloves on, I had my mask on. I went to, like I said, two different Targets. I went to Walmart, and I just picked up, again, little itty bitty stuff to me that I thought that was a necessity. But now when I look back on it, not necessarily a necessity. But I tell you, my husband goes out to, the store every day. And he's another one that he does not wear masks. He does not wear gloves. He doesn't think that he should have to. But then, he'll, go to the store every day. Oh, I need to go pick up some ruby. I need to go pick up another packet of chicken. I need to go pick up some meat. Things like that that you really don't have to do. And
Yeah.
again, and I hear that they're going to mandate now again that when you go out, you have to have a mask on. So I don't know how this is going to fare with my husband, but he definitely does not wear any type of protective equipment when he goes out. But again, I said today will be my last trip out. Again, we're urging you guys, if you do not have to go out, please stay in.
Y'all know on Saturday was the premiere of the Clark sisters, the First Ladies of Gospel biopic on Lifetime. We've been teasing this movie for a while now. We told you all about it last year. Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and Mary J. Blige are the executive producers of the movie. And had to give our flowers to a lot of the cast as well, everyone. So Anjanou Ellis played Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. Christina Bell played Twinkie. Kara Shear, which is Karen Shear's daughter, and y'all know her. We used to call her Kiki Shear, but she's now Kara Shear. She played Karen. Shalea Frazier played Dorinda. Raven Goodwin, which is not Amber Riley, everyone from Glee. She played Old Nasty Niecy. And then Angela Burchett. Yes.
They look just
Angela
fucking like
Burchett
to
played
me.
Jackie. And Anjanou Ellis, who played Dr. Maddie, she needs all the awards, all the NAACP Image Awards, the Emmy Awards, whatever awards you got for her, a BET, Blackbuster Award, whatever. But she did, yeah, she did the damn thing as Dr.
A
Maddie. It looked
trumpet
just like
award,
her, too. Yes, and it was so
just
uncanny
exactly
that
like
the
her.
Parsons posted a video on their social media where they met her for the first time, and they just broke down and cried because she looked just like their mother. So again, that invited to the
Well,
party.
everybody
Has been
except for
invited since
Denise broke down and
1994.
cried.
But she, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But the movie, starts off with them just, pretty much, yeah. hmm
Growing
And
up in
we
the streets
saw
of
Dr.
Detroit.
Maddie in the, playing the piano, giving all her time and attention to grooming her daughters to who they are today. And we saw a lot of different things that happened in the movie as well. Things that we saw they're unsung on TV1 before, but we got a little more in depth on some stuff. So we saw where Dr. What's their dad name again? Yeah. Yeah, we saw where he was a little
Albert
touchy,
Clark.
with hand playing truth or truth with Dr. Maddie, and they gave no fuss about Jacky because he said you are not even my daughter, and he,
Well, according to yeah, and so let's go back to Dr. Maddie Clark. So Moss Clark. So she actually, like you said, Jacky.
mm-hmm,
She has what is 6 of them total. Dr. Maddie
mm-hmm,
Moss Clark actually has 6 children. So
mm-hmm.
she has a son, Leroy Cullum, and then Jacky Cullum, who now goes back Jacky Clark Chisholm, which again Denise stated that she didn't change her name to Clark. She didn't become a Clark until her mom and daddy died. But anyway, basically, though
mm-hmm.
Jacky and Leroy were about her first marriage, and then she then later married Albert Clark, and then she had Denise Clark, Twinkie Clark, Dorinda Clark Cole,
Mm-hmm.
and then Karen Clark Shear. So I guess Dr. Moss or Dr. Clark, she actually, I guess, she was a first lady, but what she was passionate about was actually going around. She would form these choirs, and she would actually, go around from state to state, city to city, competing against other choirs. Actually, she would these choirs would be, again, now I don't know nothing about the coaching world. All I know, they stay in church all day, all day Sunday, and shout and dance and fall out and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they have bishops and elders and stuff like that. That's about as much as I know. But what I do know is I guess every year that big convention is called Convocation. So she would prep these choirs that she taught, you know, she would prep them for convocation. So then, like you said, what would happen is they now, according in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
she had Twinkie was her protege, and Twinkie played the organ, and she could play a damn organ, but she had Twinkie pretty much following her around from state to state, city to city, ever since Twinkie was like 9 years old. She was missing school to go behind her and play and do things like that. So I guess the husband, Albert, he felt like, okay, this is not what a first lady does. You are not, you know, you're not attending to your first lady duties. You got the first lady's breakfast. You got the pastor's aid things going on. All these different things that a first lady should be doing. You should be on
Mm-hmm.
Sundays sitting in the front row with your big hat on, supporting me. And, they asking me where you are, and you down to the convocation, and you down at this place and you down at that place with all these different choirs. So they clash. Now, according to, again, we're going to get into a little bit this later. I hear from, the other side of the family that this man was
Mm-hmm.
portrayed to be abusive, and he was not. But, in the movie, we see that, they got to fighting, and she ended up leaving. So once she left him, she focused all her time and attention
Mm-hmm.
on making her daughters stars. Again, so there were 5 of them. There was Denise, Twinkie, Jacky, Dorinda, and Karen. So, again, in the movie, we see kind of Denise
Mm-hmm.
as the outcast, the black sheep of the family. So Denise, basically, you can kind of tell
Yes.
throughout the movie that she was gonna be the one. But the various scenes where the mom would get on them about you're singing around parts, you're not watching my hands, you're not watching my hands, and she's like, shit, we've been in this church all day long singing the same songs,
Mm-hmm.
singing the same parts. This is ridiculous. And so we see at one point in the movie where Denise is,
Yeah, with
she,
makeup on.
goes out, she sneaks out the house. And yeah, she's hanging out with friends. Twinkie is up. And it looks
Mm-hmm.
like Twinkie and Denise were very, very close. Twinkie was
Yeah.
up. And I think because they're only a year apart. So Twinkie was up. She was writing the songs, rearranging, arranging songs and doing. Denise comes in the house and she's like, girl, where you been? And so she was like, where you think I've been? She's sneaking, trying to take off her makeup. And she's like, mama catch you,
Yeah.
what you think is gonna happen? She said, I'm not thinking about what mama gonna say. I don't care. I'm over this. And so they're talking. Mama comes downstairs and telling her, "But you living a raggedy ass life. Now you out here singing about the glory of God, and the only the things we do for Christ shall last. And then you out here doing something else." So they have some type of spat or whatever. Old Maddie, she done slapped Denise across her face. The other sisters come down. So,
Mm-hmm.
Maddie is telling Twinkie, you better talk to her. I know y'all been talking. I know y'all been talking about me. If she want to continue to stay in this house, you better talk to her because I won't stay in this house.
Yes, that
She won't be able to
be able
stay
to
in
stay
this house
in the
and
house.
disrespect me.
It's one of us,
So,
one or the
yes.
other.
So, and it ain't gonna be me because the last time I checked, my name is on all the D's up in here. So, then, we see at one point now. Let me say this about Twinkie. Now, poor Twinkie. I always thought that Twinkie, and again, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Me as a little child, again, anybody who's been in the church, whether you was Kojic, whether you was Baptist, whether you was AME, Pentecostal, holiness, you know,
Yes.
a Baptist Israelite. Everybody knows about the Clark sisters. And
Mm-hmm.
so I
It just
always
gave that
thought Twinkie
spirit.
was the oldest. Something about her. And then, and then I
Mm-hmm.
always thought that she was a little off. I always thought that she was slow.
Yes.
And this movie portrayed her to be that way. So the first instance we see where we knew that Twinkie wasn't right. So, they did a show. The girls were,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, going backstage or coming from behind
Mm-hmm.
the stage, and there's this guy Reza. And so he stops Karen and he's telling Karen, basically, you the voice of the Clark sisters, this, that, and the third. Have you ever thought about, leaving them and going solo? And she's like, well, anything, because they made it
Was
seem
always
like the Karen
mm-hmm.
Clark Sheard was very, very shy. Yeah, and she kind of hid behind all of her sisters and her mother for their entire career, and you
Mm-hmm.
ain't do nothing if you ain't go past Dr. Clark. And so she's like, well, anything you need to, she basically thanked him for the compliment, but anything
Mm-hmm.
you need to discuss, you need to talk to mama about that. So next thing you know, he sees Twinkie. Tell Twinkie the same thing, you the voice of the group. You writing these songs, you playing the organ. Have you ever thought about a solo career? Next thing
And
we
I
know, we
Lincoln.
see Twinkie pulling on up to the house in the
Yeah.
nice and there's a big long ass Lincoln Town car,
Yes.
brand new, look like she drove it straight off the lot. So she comes to she walks in the house, all of them are there, and so she's like, she somehow another they had the paperwork and they like, Twinkie, you sold our career, you sold us out for a Lincoln. Twinkie said, yeah, I deserve to drive a nice car. So they like, did you even look at the paperwork? Like, you sold your entire catalog, so every song that you've ever written, any type of
Yeah.
money to be made off of that will go to him, and y'all gonna get
That little
the little
percentage.
bit of
Yeah.
what's left. Is there, if there's anything to get? Yeah, if there's anything left after they take everything from you. And she just kept saying she deserved to drive a nice car. And so they was like, you will never, I can't. The mom was like, I can't get you out the contract, and y'all to be singing shows to y'all, and y'all to be singing well to within y'all to y'all 150 to get out this type of to be paying this man back. Y'all gonna be doing shows
Yeah,
for the rest of
messed up
y'all
your
life.
future,
Y'all
your
will
kids'
not be able
futures,
to
their
retire.
grandchildren's future. Like, and Dorinda was mad as hell. Like, look, is you dumb or no? Like, come on.
And then Jacky said,
Yeah.
see, that's why I went and got me a nursing degree, because of the simple fact that because if anything happens stupid like this
Now we
with
gonna
this
talk.
group, I
Uh,
always had something to fall back on. And yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, allegedly. So and so then the other thing was, Twinkie actually, now I don't know how dumb
yeah,
she really was, because she did get into Howard University,
she following
but she
her.
did not stay because Dr. Clark said, no, 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 you can study Monday through Friday, but on the weekends you got to come here and do these culture conventions and play that goddamn organ. So she ended up, she couldn't even take
Right,
her exams.
and got mad
The
at her for
mother wouldn't
wanting
even
to
allow her
take
to
an
study for
exam.
the exams. So they all end up getting married. Dorinda got married, Jacky got married, and then it looks like Karen was dating. This was a guy in the neighborhood, but he actually went to the church as well. The church that they were going to, he got offered to be a pastor at a church. So he ends up proposing to Karen Clark Sheard. Now that's what this movie portrays, but y'all forget there was Karen Clark Sheard,
Yeah,
they
on
had
BET.
a reality show on
Mm-hmm.
BET, and that ain't the way she stated that he proposed to her. She claimed he proposed to her
Yeah.
on Valentine's Day. But in the movie, it, pretty much portrayed as if, this man was getting ready to become a pastor of a church. Back in those
Mm-hmm.
days, you get a church, you got to be married. You can't just be dating somebody. So, he asked her to marry him, and that's what happened. So, we see a series, of, their hits. They what You Bought the Sunshine, Name It, um just a bunch
Yeah.
of the Hallelujah. They went to the
Yes.
Grammys. Mama up there,
Yes.
Mama up there getting down on the stage, got in trouble by the Kojic leadership. So next thing we know, here it is. Mama done worked out it. Mama done got them a deal, because what happened was she told Twinkie, listen, now I'm getting too old to be running behind y'all and doing everything. You let me
With that
handle the
damn.
business part. Now this was before, and I
Yeah.
forget, this was before Twinkie got that Lincoln. But she had told her, you let
She was.
me handle the business part, and I want you to take over being the leader of the Clark sisters. You already playing the organ, you already writing all the songs, you already arranging the songs. So you do that, and you let me handle the business part. So when Twinkie saw their asses out for that Lincoln, the mama, this is why I told you to let me handle the business. So anyway, the mama was able to get them, I guess, a contract. Now they won't sing it with Kirk and the family, because that. So, but she got them an old contract. It's fine. Thank you. So, she got them an old contract. They go to the attorney's office to sign the contract. At this point, it's still Denise, it's Twinkie, it's Dorinda, it's Karen, and it's Jacky. They get ready to sign.
Mm-mm.
Denise said she ain't signing that contract. So they's like, so they like, the mama's like, this is the best thing I could do. I guess she felt like, maybe she felt like, she didn't negotiate hard enough on their behalf. They weren't getting the money that they thought they was gonna get. So she's like, this is the best that I could do. After that deal, Twinkie went and signed, and then signed over all her entire catalog. So she's like, it's not that. It's not about the money. If I sign this contract, I am continuing to sell myself to be up under your thumb for again and give all of me to you. Now, remind you, at this point, Denise had already
Mm.
had a baby out of wedlock. or whatever. And when this
Yeah.
scene happens, Denise done had 2 more babies. And they made it seem like the way they portrayed it. Remember, right before that, we saw Denise stating that she had to go to the doctor. She was probably pregnant again because we done found out Denise got 7 babies. Denise said she had to go to the doctor. She wanted Dr. Clark to watch her 3 babies. And Dr. Clark said, oh, no, 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 bitch. I didn't raise my kids. I can't be watching no grandbabies. So the next day when they went to the attorney's office to sign the deal, it made it seem like she still had some animosity with her mother and she was mad about that. But what she stated was, if I sign this contract, then I am forever once again indebted to, again, giving you all of my time, and devoting all of my
Mm-hmm.
time to you, and there's nothing left for me. So they asked the attorney to step out, and the mother is like, why do you hate me so bad? And she's like, I don't hate you, but I have got to get away from you, because again, your life has been, or my life has been your life, your ministry. You put that on everybody else. You never asked us if this is what we wanted to do. You put
Mm-hmm.
this on us and told us that we had to do this. So she said, I can't sign this contract. Dorinda tells her, you're my sister, but you make it hard for me to love you. And so she's like, well, I tell you what, you guys have always been my sisters, and it's never been hard for me to love you guys. You guys are not perfect. You ain't, always, walk the good walk. You ain't always,
Mm-hmm.
talk the talk, but I still loved you in spite of. And, it's always been easy for me to love you because you're my sisters. So, that's pretty much we think that's
Mm-hmm.
the last thing that we're gonna see at Denise. So again, they go on, go on to make some more hits. You see them singing in the studio. Karen is breaking down because she states it doesn't feel right, because it's supposed to be 5 of them and not 4 of us. Dorinda and Jacky is like, girl, fuck this
Yeah.
shit. We got to get these albums. We got to get this album made. The record label is pushing for it. They want this project by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The show must go on without her. And that's pretty much, what happened. So we see them going on. I think they was going to a concert or getting ready for another convocation. Twinkie going on up the steps. A man by the name of John stops her and tell her, well, let me grab this. I guess she had her she had a case with her. I guess that was
Yeah.
her music sheets
Uh-huh.
and all that stuff. Who knows what that stuff was? But he takes it for her. He starts talking to her. Now he tells her, you know, she said, I'm Twinkie Clark. And so he was like, I know who you are. So she, once again, you pretty much giving it away that you got money, you got this fame, you got
Mm-hmm.
this fortune, you pretty much got this power. So he's asking her, how did she get the name Twinkie? She gives him her real name,
Yes.
which was another mistake. Again,
Right.
you don't give a stranger your real name. Then hold on, Jaden, turn it down some. And then he throws some shade at her about she's telling him how she got the nickname Twinkie. He throws some shade at her about
Yeah.
he said something about the hostess cakes, I believe. That's why he thought she got that name. So anyway, next thing you know, she tell
Mm-hmm.
mama she engaged. And she's in, basically she needs to go ahead and quit the Clark sisters altogether because her husband, and I thought that her husband was a minister, but that's why I thought when she states, when he needs me to be with
Yeah.
him, I thought that he was gonna be pastor in the church, and she was gonna be the first lady and she needed to be wherever he was. So, Twinkie says, well, when uh I don't know what I want to call her, Joyce. When Jacky got married, you didn't say shit. When Dorinda got married, you didn't say shit. Hell, when
Yeah.
Jacky got married, you gave her back the $50 that
Uh-huh.
she had been giving you every 2 weeks from her paycheck
Yes.
and told her to go ahead and do right by her household. So Karen got married, you didn't say shit to her. And so they kept saying, well, I don't understand why just because you're getting married, I don't understand why that makes you have to leave the group. And so Karen said, I'm married, Doe's married, and Jacky's married. but we're all still a part of the group. And so she just states that she needed to, she needed to be with her husband. Next thing you know, we see John and old Twinkie come to Mama's house. By this time, Mama's health, has really declined. Mama on the cane. Mama go to the door. She said, "What you here for?" Well, I just, wanted to say goodbye. Say goodbye? What you mean say goodbye? Well, John said, "Well, Twinkie, you need to go ahead and say your goodbyes because we got a long drive." And she said, "Where y'all going, Twinkie? Long drive? Well, North Carolina." She said, "Twinkie, that's where you going? The North Carolina? That's where you going, Twinkie?" So she said, "Well, I tell you what, you know how to do." She said,
Yeah.
what she say? Another bad decision, Twinkie. Another bad decision, Twink. I tell you the two things you know how to do: make beautiful music and make bad decisions and choices. Another bad choice, Twink. So she, baby, go outside. So they going back and forth, why you feel like you got to do this. She said, if you look at, I want to show you the schedule. Me and Jacky don't work this thing out. If you feel like you need more time and the schedule was too tight, too hectic, we done worked it out. Well, we done tick off all these dates in the schedule. And Twink is like, you just don't get it. It has nothing to do with that. I got to do this for me. This is for me. So she just crying, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." She told her, Twink said, "Well,
Yeah.
why can't I?" She said, "Because you need me." She said, "Yeah, you need me. Yeah, I need you. I need you to be my mother, and you need me too. But I feel like you need me to be your organ player, and that's all you need me for. You don't think of me as a daughter." John, come on back in the house, baby. We gotta go. So he Twinkie go to hug her mother. The mother grab her, wouldn't let her go. John said, "Come on, we got to go." Mama Maddie wouldn't let her go. They said, yeah. Dr. Clark then hit the wall. John done pushed her into the wall. Twinkie hollering, "No,
Help her
mama,
mama
no."
up.
We thinking that she gonna
Yeah.
stay. Anybody done push my mama to the wall? We
Yeah.
think, I said, well, we got a forest situation
Yes.
on our hands. Shout out to Paula J. Parker. So I'm
Yes.
thinking, she definitely gonna stay
Yes.
now. She go on out the door with John. So again, we see the girls, they go on without Twinkie. So, by this time, the mother, she's still worried as any mother would be. She worried. She ain't really talked to Twinkie. Now Denise is gone. Denise is gone now. Twinkie is gone. So she's calling Twinkie. "I just want to hear your voice. Please call Mama. Please call her." She don't answer the phone. So, next thing you know, Jacky come on over. Mama sitting there
Mm.
eating potato chips, drinking a little soda pop. And Jacky,
Yeah.
"Mama, they're gonna way you're not supposed to eat
Yes.
this." Now, Mama had the sugar diabetes. And Mama said the Lord God healed her from the sugar diabetes. And he told her it was okay to eat them
Right.
Lay's potato chips and drink that Coca-Cola.
Yo.
That RC
Uh,
Cola. That's probably what she was drinking back then. So she said, "Well, have you talked to Twinkie?" No, she said, she said, "Have you talked to Twink?" And she said, "Well, if I told you I did, would make you take your medications?" And so she said, "No." Next thing you know, we see a scene with Jacky, where Twinkie is at home laying on her couch. John busts through the door. She said, "John, where the hell you been all night?" John say, "Out." He said, "I thought you had a show." She said, "I done been to my show and done come back." He said, "Well, why the damn place look like this then?" And so she said she was tired. She been taking care of their son. And she's been trying to book shows, book gigs, just to put some food on the table. And I guess at that point, she had gotten a solo deal. They gave her an advance, but the advance wasn't that much. And she said she put the money towards the bill. John wanted to know why the hell you ain't getting money to him. So he told her, "Listen, And she said after she paid the bills, what little bit that was left, she took it and got that Lincoln fixed. And he said, listen, your name is too big for us to be living in this little ass apartment, for us to be driving this 10-year-old car or whatever. You got to do better. And had I known that shit was going to turn out like this, I would have left your ass back in Detroit with your mama. So Jacky's able to get Maddie to take her meds. Maddie take her meds. Jacky look down. Mama foot is bleeding through the ace bandage.
Yes.
So they rush her. Jacky take her on to the hospital. The girls are all come gather around. I think they want to tell now. Mama that had her leg amputated. I think they tell the girls that Mama got to get her leg amputated. And so what happens is, they saying for the doctor or whatever, she tells them, this here is my oldest girl, Jacky. This my Rock. This here is Dorinda. She is the one to hold the family together and do for the family. And then this here is my baby girl, Karen. She's shy or whatever, but we trying to get her out of that. So basically, the next thing we see, she said she got 2 more girls. They be on their way soon. Next thing we see, basically they start playing my song. What is it? I have ruled through the rain like Paul. I've been slain. But anyway, so basically, Mama Maddie done died. They all come in their white suits.
Yes, fur, white coats, and all things.
Yes. So what happens is, they start the funeral. Denise comes in there and she steps up on the pulpit and she says, I am Denise Clark. And these is my 7 boys. And y'all weren't supposed to know about these boys. And y'all weren't supposed to know nothing about me, but I'm back. And if Mama was alive, she wouldn't want this funeral to go down like this. All this crying, she would want this to be a joyous occasion. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Shut up, Jada. So the end of the service, they get outside. They tell Niecy, you got to ride in the other family car.
Yes.
You can't ride in this one. And so she's like, and why not? They was like, well, we just think you and your 7 kids will be more comfortable and there'd be more room in the other family car. She was like, nah, my 7 kids are with my husband. I'm going to get in this car. So Twinkie's like, it's okay. I'll ride in this car with you. And they going back and forth. This was my mother. It's my mother too. Yada, yada, yada. Do you want me to show you really what's going to go on? Try me. And they arguing and carrying on. So next thing we see, they done had to put Twinkie in the middle ward.
Yes, because she left with reading over the will and stuff like that. They're like, where's Twinkie? Karen goes to the church and see her, calling out for mama and stuff like that at the when at the funeral they had the picture.
Yeah, because they portrayed as if she was very, very heartbroken. Because she felt as if her mother did not get to mend, the fences, because she left abruptly. But I hear that that's not what happened.
Right.
Her mother had actually made up. They were actually speaking when all of this happened. But next thing like you said, they put Twinkie in a mental hospital. And then they kind of going back and forth about who gonna stay with her, who gonna watch out for her, who gonna sit with her. Then they state that pretty much they were talking about Niecy, and somebody said she needs some help, and Dorinda said no, we all need some type of help. Next thing you know, she leaves and she contemplating jumping off of a bridge. And then she doesn't. She ends up, talking to God, praying, talking to her mother, and she ends up not jumping off the bridge. Karen Clark Sheard. Now I remember this, when I was I remember this. She goes to have some type of weight loss surgery. She
Yeah.
falls into a coma. They don't know if she's gonna make it. Then, the doctors come out and say, that she's definitely gonna recover. And then pretty much at the end, it shows them when they kind of came back and they did that album together.
Uh,
And
Great album.
yeah, and so that's the album. I like living this kind of life.
Mm-hmm. Give me
I'm
on
living a blessed
house.
life. Yeah. And so you know, blessed and highly favored. So it shows them actually singing that, and then when it goes off, it pans into the real actual Clark sisters
Mm-hmm.
singing blessed and highly favored. What I did notice though was Twinkie was not on there.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it was all in all a very good movie.
Yes.
But where there's smoke, there's some fire.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
some shade and there's some mess. So, Larry Reed, I don't know if how many of you guys that listen to us are familiar with him, but Reggie and I, will listen to him sometimes and we share various videos. So last year, February of last year, he actually found Denise. Clark-Bradford, and I knew this was gonna be messy because when he first introduced her, she made no mistake about telling you guys that she is the eldest of the Clark
Yes.
sisters, not
Yeah.
Jacky, but she's the eldest. She calls Jacky a Cullum.
Yes.
And so she states that Jacky did not change her name to Jacky Clark, whatever Jacky's Chisholm. Her name, she didn't change her name to Clark until after her dad and her mother died, because she states that she knew that they would have not approved of that because she is not a Clark. And so she states that, again, this is she in the movie. Now I didn't get this from the movie, but I guess the rumor had always been that they had actually kicked Niecy out of the group. And she
Yeah.
states that she was never kicked out. She chose to leave because again, here come the mess. She states that you know she had by this time, in the movie we see that she had at least 3 boys. Well, she
Mm.
actually has, again, we see in the movie she has 7 children, and she states that she was being pretty much pressured by her mom and then also the Kojic ministry to pretty much abort all 7 of those kids. Now she shadily says, I can't tell you what the other ones did with their children, but
Yes.
I know I know that I kept all of mine. And
Yes.
so she said, then she kind of, pretty much hinted around that maybe all of them got pregnant with the exception of Jacky out of wedlock,
Mm-hmm.
and had abortions, because she said, I told Karen ain't nobody abort her. I
Yeah.
told Joe nobody aborted her.
Yes. And y'all know when I normally do the show, I always let Monique do the notes and stuff. I just go off the rip. I
You
just
go ahead and do the notes this.
But y'all know I went ahead and did the notes when I heard this. Come on, Monique sent me the link. 'Cause I forgot. I remember seeing the when I went back and actually looked at the video that Monique sent me. I was like, oh, I put this in my watch later, like last year, but I never watched it though. Cause like I told y'all, I'm a fan of gospel. Clark sisters are a fan of them. We watch their TV One Unsung episodes, so like we follow up on this stuff because we know this stuff. Like we grew up on this. So I was like, I never heard of her though. I forgot she was even relevant. But I was like, let me see what's going on. So when Monique sent me the link, I was like, let me check this out. I'm at work because I'm working from home in my robe, if you will, with my pajama pants, my flannel plaid
Titties
pants,
out.
chest is closed up. But I'm listening to the interview. I'm like, oh shit, let me get my iPad out and start writing some stuff down. So, like we said, we'll start off the interview. So, like she said, contrary to belief, Denise is actually the older sister and not Twinkie. She doesn't count Jacky, although she is an actual, Jacky is actually older than all of them because she wasn't born to Clark and was from Dr. Maddie's first marriage, and she was a Cullen. She let that known very well.
But she is their half sister.
Yes, she spells out the last name too. She's a Cullen, and she mentioned like the older brother as well. So that's from that part there. We just touched on that there. And I, we was watching the movie too. I was mentioning to Monique. I remember hearing that too. That there was a brother. I was like, this looks like the Braxtons. They don't mention the brother until it's a special occasion, but they mentioned the brother at all that they've had. So we found that information out. She had a first child with a bishop of the Kojic Church, and that's why she dipped on the organization. So she got knocked down by a bishop, and basically that's why Maddie was trying to, or Dr. Maddie, to be respectful, Dr. Maddie was trying to, shun the whole thing or just trying to like cover it up, because it's like, look, we got to go in front of these people every week when we do our our conventions and stuff like that, or going to service. So what we gonna do about this? And we even saw in the one scene was kind of like the final straw when she was pregnant again. She was like, look, you gotta wait in the car. But then she ended up letting her perform because she gave her the gown and everything. It was like, you can't perform with us. But Dr. Maddie let up and let her actually perform. So it's been that type of deal going on with her as far as her, first child.
Yeah, and she said that bishop, and his name is Larry, the son's name, and she said that he did not, I guess help her out at all with this child whatsoever. And she said it wasn't until like the child was 15 years old that she got some type of child support. And she only got it for 3 years, until the child turned 18.
All that ties and offering and fucking with the bishop. Okay. So then she said she wasn't kicked out of the Clark sisters by Dr. Maddie, but her husband told her to leave the group after she was damn near bullied by her sisters for having, the kids and everything like that. And it got me thinking again, it got to be real. It's a damn shame. Because remember when Fantasia would be on the show and they always mess her words up. And she was, I refuse to be mistreatment or something like that. Or
yeah.
the victim. You mean the victim. But, so basically, she said that's why she left this group, because she was bullied by her sisters. Her sisters. Her sisters telling her, why you pregnant? You bringing down the value of the group. We not about that image right now. And that's when Apostle, baby girl said that they was told to leave her kids to be a part of the group, but alleged that the other sisters that be pulling the Janet Jackson and hiding babies and abortions behind the scenes. And I'm trying to think, okay, who might have been knocked up early? The Renda seemed like the wild child, because we see her out here singing Mary J. Blige drunk in kitchens and stuff for Thanksgiving.
And then wait a minute, I ain't see this video. I watched a video of her today singing Kodak, singing Bodak Yellow.
No, see.
And point to the the part where it be like, these is blood and shoes. She was pointing to the bottom of her feet.
See. It was the reason why she was on Preachers of Detroit.
What you say?
I said it was the reason why she was on Preachers of Detroit.
Yeah.
So then Denise wants it to be known she's about that street life because of her husband, who was a part of the gang. A GANG. She spelled that up for us too, to let us know she's. Yeah. Shout out to the Bloods and Crips, if you will. And that puts a whole new spin on the Kojic Church of Goons in Christ. So then Denise said Jacky is, and she screamed this out, she said this in all caps. Then Jacky is not a nurse and didn't pass the state board exam and has taken them several times and has not passed that on.
And she said she was tired of that damn lie. She said she was tired of hearing that damn lie. I hollered.
So again, she might be an LPN. Like, in one of the I tweeted the picture on the night of the movie after the movie ended, because I was like, you know what? You could tell Jacky was a nurse because of her immaculate wig collection. She had every wig nurse collection that you can know. That's known to man. And one of the people who commented under the picture was like, I heard through the streets that Jacky is not even a nurse. She's not an RN. She's not an LPN. Whatever she is, she and like Jacky said, Niecy says she need to stop telling that lie in these streets.
So
Definitely.
yeah, so then they said I think she may be an LPN but not an RN. But she said that's the thing that would piss her off about like Karen and them. She said because they would keep this lie going that this girl was was a registered nurse, which
Yeah.
and this because your mom is an RN. An RN and the LPN is two totally different
Yeah.
types of nurses or whatever,
Right.
and in some states you can't even work in the hospital if you're LPN.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she said she was so sick of them telling that damn lie. She said, and then I think she cleared it up. I think Jacky supposedly is an LPN, but is not an RN. Because she stated that she actually, when Jacky passed the LPN board, she paid for the pictures. She said, and I know she like you said, she took the RN exam several times and couldn't pass.
Yes. So then she says that Twinkie was put into the padded wall room against her will by Jacky and had her phone taken away and no communication at all during those 2 weeks that she was in the padded wall room. So again, that made us think, we always looked at imagery of the Clark sisters, and when you start seeing interviews and stuff, it always seems a little something off was about
Oh, but
Twinkie.
Twinkie. So okay.
But you don't want to put, you want to be a child of God
Yeah,
and
and
not,
you want to be respectful.
yeah.
But okay, so let me say this. So she stated, and this is one of the reasons why she said she felt like this happened. She said, for one, she said before the mother passed, she said Jacky did the same thing. She said that Jacky pretty much had filed for court-appointed legal guardianship over the mother and wanted the courts to declare her mother incompetent. And
Mm-hmm.
so she said that according to Nisi, her mother showed her some papers and said, I want you to read these papers to me. And so she explained to her, she said, do you know what these papers mean? And so she said, no, she said, this means that Jacky has free reign to do whatever she wants to do over your estate. She thinks that you are incompetent and feels like you need a guardian and someone to manage your affairs.
Mm-hmm.
So she stated they went to court. They went to court and her and Twinkie contested the guardianship. So she said that when her mother appeared before the judge, when they asked her, do you know what your name is? Her mother was able to ramble off her name. When they asked her what was her address, she rambled off, the address the house that they had grew up in. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, Jacky was standing behind her. She said this time her mother had already had the leg amputation, so she was in a wheelchair. And she said Jacky shook the wheelchair and was like, no, no, no. And so she said, the mother said, Jacky was like, you don't live at that address anymore. And so
Mm-hmm.
she said, the judge was like, do not help her. You cannot help her. And
Yeah.
so, again, this, you and I talked about this. This interview was all over the fucking place.
Yes.
So, it made me and again, it's kind of like watching that Tiger King thing. It's like a train wreck that you just cannot stop watching and you just cannot get off of.
Right.
Because it was some parts of that interview made me question whether or not Nisa needed her a damn guardian. Because she
Yeah.
would be, they would ask her a question and she would just start preaching and going into scriptures. Then she would just start hollering, screaming and
They
crying.
going in tongues.
Yeah, and speaking in tongues and spelling stuff out loud. And then,
Yeah.
she could bring it back and then answer the question. So, and then we got something for your ass, Larry Reed, at the end, but you need your ass kicked for this.
Yes.
It was kind of, some parts of it was very hard to follow. Like you had to really, really listen to the whole thing to kind
Mm-hmm.
of get the gist of it. So I don't know really what happened with the mother, but according to Denise, she states that, this whole Jacky trying to become the legal guardian for Twinkie basically was retaliation for them and get back for them contesting when she tried to do it to the mother.
Mm-hmm.
So she states that basically Nisi felt like that obviously, like you said, Twinkie, and we all know that she's had some health challenges. She
Yeah.
stated that she felt like Jacky was like over medicating Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, according to Denise, she says that her son lives with Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said there was a part where Jacky or Twinkie fell in the floor, and her son was trying to get Twinkie up off the floor. And she states that her son states that Jacky told him, let her stay in the floor. If she don't want to take her medicine and do what she's supposed to do and take care of herself, let her stay in the floor and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you say, it's just been a whole bunch of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I think their issues kind of stem from this whole I'm the eldest Clark sister. Like
Yeah,
that.
and that's exactly what it is.
So go ahead with your notes, Reggie.
And one thing before I go to this, the other thing I want to point out too is Denise always calls Dorinda, Jacky, and Karen the three amigos,
Mm-hmm.
and and that you will see them all styled up and stuff like that, all done up, wigs all great, but then Twinkie just sitting there looking like.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what, that is
And that
true.
is very true. You like,
And
why is Twinkie wig cocked to the side? Why
yes,
Twinkie
Twinkie
don't have
looking.
on what they have on?
Yeah, Twinkie had a whole plastic wig on. I forget what performance it was. It was on TBN a long time ago. And Jacky up there, Twinkie up there looking in the plastic wig with a heavy ass. Remember those Casper suits from Macy's or Hex back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Heavy ass Casper suit while they all done up and stuff like
And
that. I
so,
was like,
and that's what Nisa said. She felt like that a lot of that was done so that they could use against her and try to say that she
uh-huh.
was not in her right mind.
Yes.
And
And here I am. Oh, go ahead.
and one of the questions they were asking about Karen Clark, they was like, well, she's the baby, and a lot of times because she's the baby of the family, a lot of times when the baby is involved, they typically try not to, involve her in the family drama.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't and they try to, keep her out of it as much as possible. And so Larry was like, well, do you think that, basically Karen, they shielded her from the drama and she didn't know what was going on and no more than what she was being told. And she just went along to get along. And she was like, no, we're all grown.
Yeah.
She said,
You're right.
no, we're all grown. We can all make decisions for ourselves. And she said she knows that Jacky, the things that Jacky and Dorinda was doing to Twinkie.
Mm-hmm. And that always, again, that brought back, thinking maybe Twinkie, dressed like that just to be, pure and stuff like that, because she was the oldest. So I'm thinking maybe she's just dressing like that because of her age, and she just want to be like the very demure one, while
And
they
she
can
was
be
bigger than
more
the
fat.
two of them, too. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what, the whole time we think until, Nasty Nisi started speaking, we're like, oh, that makes sense now. Could maybe, they're trying to make it look like, oh, she need to be on, a medication, or she's incompetent, or she needs a guardianship and stuff like that. She needs a POA possibly. Anything could happen. So that brought that to my mind. But then looking at the new album, the new, stuff they're doing, Twinkie got a nice ass wig. She looked all glammed up on the cover. They're looking like the Destiny's Child Destiny Fulfilled album cover now. So I'm like, you know what? They done her some good. So maybe they listened to that interview and it was like, you know what, Twinkie, we're gonna do good by you. We're gonna actually get you a makeup artist and a stylist, and we actually gonna make you, dressed up for this new album cover and stuff like that. So I will say that possibly may have happened, but with this we never know. So now, the last time she actually spoke to her sisters was in 1994 when she was cutting up at Dr. Maddie's funeral.
Well, she
And had
said
to
that
stop.
did not happen. She said she did not do that.
Yeah, and there's a video too. A video did come out right after the movie came out. A video was circulating on social media of the actual footage from the funeral when she got up there. And she was, it was actually calm. It wasn't as dramatic. And again, it's a movie, so you got to set it up a little bit. You do got to make it entertaining. So that's exactly what they did. But she was actually very cool and calm, and wasn't as ratchet as it appeared to be in the movie. Now I did see a picture of Niecy leaving the funeral that made it look like she was a little upset and a little, agitated. So maybe something happened behind the scenes, like the funeral car arrangement, going to the, burial or whatnot. But in the funeral, it wasn't actually as ratchet or turned up like it was in the movie, where she was like, "These are my 7 boys," like she came up like drunk auntie or something.
Yeah.
It's very cool. But she made it a point too that she had to drive from Maryland because she was living in Maryland at the time. Her and her husband and kids had to drive from Maryland to Detroit because the sisters couldn't even spend for her to, fly on the airline or
Yeah,
nothing like
and
that, or a
yeah,
ticket
and
or
she
a grant.
yeah, and so she states that she does not receive any royalties whatsoever, from all of their hits because again, she now be that as it may, she was actually on all of those songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so she states, and then she actually did all the choreography. She states that she did all the choreography. She said for the Grammy performance that they did, all of the songs that they sung, if they did a little 2-step or a little raising of the hand or whatever. She said she choreographed all of those things. She said, and they would never, they'll never be able to give her props for that.
Now, Nasty Niecy, that's not that much effort. Now, you just doing the shimmy from left to right and run through the crowd, hallelujah, hallelujah. That wasn't that much. So, no.
What they did turn around they did
I
turn
mean, Mama
around and,
was on the same step
they
too.
did some shit with some bop in it. Okay.
Look, Mama wasn't on the same accord too. She's up there looking like
I said to look
Sid
at her ass
Peterson.
up here, trying to get up here for the camera. I said that the
Yeah,
whole time she been down in the background singing and waving her hands, and they got to lick at her hands and follow her hands and make sure they on the right note. Then they get up on this brave stage, and then all of a sudden she up here. That's where her ass got a trouble. I told you that when he came, I was saying to look at her ass this whole time. We ain't never seen her perform with them.
no. Now you had the biggest stage in music night, and you want to
She was
be
up
on.
there getting it, turning around, spinning around.
Yes. So she says that Jacky didn't start writing her name as Clark until both the parents died, like we mentioned before. The sisters buried their dad, Mr. Clark, before she even got to Michigan.
Yeah, but she said she was the one that had to go to the apartment and clean all that
And
stuff
cleaned
out.
it up.
She said they didn't come over there and help her do anything. But by the time she got there, they had already buried him. And then she stated during the mother's funeral, they didn't even want him there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And he was, like you said, if he wasn't there, like looking in the movie. Well, okay, I'm thinking you would want to be there, even if it's your ex-wife. That's the, mother of your kids. You want to be there for support. Like Bobby Brown tried to be there at the funeral for
And
Whitney.
now, according to her, she states that and that's what she was saying about Jacky. She said, and if you couldn't stand him as much as as much as you say, you couldn't stand him, why would you want his name? And so she said
Yeah,
she had told Twinkie, she said, and she thinks Twinkie got a little perturbed with her. She said, that's your daddy. But, and, she said that that he never hit Jacky. Why would you let him? Why would you let them get up there and portray that? He never hit
yeah.
Jacky. Now I don't know, and I cannot remember if she stated that he never beat that mama, but she said he definitely didn't hit Jacky. And then
Mm,
of course she stated that she was never consulted or contacted about the biopic, or nor was she consulted or contacted and allowed to give her input in the actual unsung either.
yeah. But they said when they did announced the movie last year at the TCA, the Television Critics Association press junket, they made it seem like they reached out to Nasty Niecy, but she wasn't able to be contacted, or she wasn't available. But
Yeah,
Nasty
and
Niecy said, "Oh, crock a
yeah,
bull."
and then a couple years ago, they were at the Essence Festival and they were being honored. And they stated that I think it was Dorinda and Karen made some type of, announcement or statement that the original group was going to get back together and do an album. And that was the other thing she said she was upset about, because once again, you're trying to portray this life that you sung about, but nobody knows how nasty you guys have been to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, so she stated, that they never reached out to her to talk to her about that either. She said, she's still waiting on her call for that because she doesn't know what they're talking about.
right. So that was a lot there. Something else that stuck out to me was for them to be just a gospel group. I guess of course they had their pop hits too. I mean, you brought the Sunshine was on the pop charts, on the dance charts, the R&B charts, and the gospel charts, which is something that was unheard of at that time for gospel music, unless you was Aretha Franklin with Amazing Grace album. But for them to be just a gospel group, they sure used a lot of aliases to go into the hospital and the healthcare facility.
Yeah, she said, and we're gonna talk about this court date.
Yes.
Well, she still waiting on the phone call from the judge.
Yes.
Give her testimony. So again, she is pretty upset about this whole thing with Twinkie. Like you said, maybe somebody done heard them talk about how they, have made Twinkie look over the years. And I just looked at the album cover. They do look like Destiny's Child, and they're all black. And they and they do they do got Twinkie fixed up pretty nice. But she stated that basically, this whole court case with Twinkie and the guardianship, she states that I guess she was supposed to testify and try to contest this whole guardianship. So she states when the court papers were sent to her or whatever, she stated that the date of the court hearing was not on the papers. So she stated she called down to the courts, and I guess she spoke to the clerk, and she went through the paper. The clerk, this don't even sound right. She said the clerk went through the paperwork, because the last time I checked, the clerks at the court are busy. They do not have time to be, even if you went there in person, they not gonna sit down and go over with you verbatim, word by word, paper by paper, line by line, what they done gave you. So damn well they ain't go through it over the phone. But she says that they went through the paperwork with her. And she says that she only got three pages in the mail. And the clerk asked her, told her it's supposed to be 4 pages. And on the 4th page, that was supposed to be the court date and the time and, the hearing and all that stuff for Twinkie. So like I told Reggie, now as many court papers as I've seen, actually I have to go to court on the 16th for a patient, because we filed for guardianship for the patient, and the hearing is on the 16th. Actually 2 patients to be exact. The paperwork that I always get in the mail, they always, the very first page is the court date, the time, and what courtroom it's going to be in and what court it's going to be at. Yeah. So it ain't on the back of the page. It ain't the last page that I get. So anyway, she states that, and then when she got the information, they purposely gave her the information like a couple days prior, so it did not give her time to prepare to get to Michigan from California, because she states by this time she was living in Sacramento. So she states that basically the course was going to allow her to give her testimony over the phone. She said that she called that morning and she checked in, which sounds, again, don't even sound right. She said she checked in, and they told her that they was going to call her back and let her, don't eat another ring pop. Give me that. Don't. Oh, I'm going to beat your ass. So I can't catch you. So anyway, hello. So she says that she checked in, as you laughing at Jada, and so she still don't drink nothing else tonight. I'm sorry. You want some water? Drink some water out the faucet. And so she said that she checked in, and she to this day she's still where she was told that they was gonna call her back when it was time to testify, and she was gonna get her testimony via telephone. And she said to this day she's still waiting on it.
I'm like, what in the phone conference do you
think? Yeah, she's still waiting on them to call her. Child. So she said, so when she finally was able to talk to somebody, and this was way after the hearing, they tell her that Jacky been been Twinkie court appointed legal guardian for the last 13
Yeah.
years. I'm like, what?
Right.
Child, and then did you hear the part where she said they went to the one of the first times that she did try to go to Twinkie's house to see her, how they called the police on her.
Yeah.
It said that when Jacky got there, she let them talk to the police first, and when the police talked to her, she told them that she had come all this way and she just wanted to check on her sister's welfare. So at any rate, so what were we saying? Oh, so she was saying when she got there, she let Jacky talk to the police first. And so the police, after that, the police talks to her. And the police tells her, she tells the police that her and her goddaughter have traveled all this way. They just, she's concerned about her sister's well-being. She felt like Jacky was over medicating her sister. And so she said, well, if I can at least just talk to her. She said they get Twinkie on the phone, and Twinkie like, hey girl, what's going on? And she said, Twinkie, I've been knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell. How come you didn't answer the phone? She said Twinkie go tell her she had the nail shop get her nails done.
Yeah.
I said, oh, these people is crazy.
Yes. I'm like, this sounds the scheme set up by Todd.
To come to us with the bullshit. And so she asked Twinkie, well, when are you going to be at home? And so she told her she didn't know when she was coming back home. So she told her that she was just trying to check in with her a little bit later. And so now, that damn Larry Reed, and bitch, you ain't shit. But go ahead, Reggie, with your notes.
Yes. So then the next part is apparently one of the sisters fucked around with another sister's husband and beat him down to the ground. Showdown. Shot the cousin Faith. So we trying to figure out which allegedly, because we ain't trying to get sued on here, but which husband was or which sister was fucking around with the other one's husband. Now you had your pick. You think it's Dorinda.
I think it was Dorinda sleeping around with Karen Clark. Karen, yeah,
with Drew Shear.
Because Twinkie ain't had no husband after John. I don't believe.
That was her only.
Not unless somebody was sleeping around with Jacky husband. But Jacky, I just don't see, because Jacky, I was looking at some stuff on them today. Jacky, now Jacky is 70.
Mm-hmm.
Denise is 65. So I can't see them sleeping around, because Jacky's husband, when he died, was 71. So I can't see them messing around with no old man like that. But Dorinda and Karen are like 3 years apart. And so then she was saying that I guess Karen's husband, he was in the process. I guess he was in the process of being chose to be like the next leader of the actual Kojak operation or whatever. I said, bitch, if you keep on talking, the rate you talking, he ain't gonna be shit by the time you get that telling all their business in 18.
Yes.
So yeah, she said it was a whole fist fight. She don't understand how these sisters could get up here, on the stage and sing with one another with all this kind of carrying on and all this kind of foolishness, knowing all this stuff that has gone on with them.
And that got me thinking when we saw that one part in the movie when they introduced Drew Shear, when he was being introduced to Karen by which sister was introduced? Was it Twinkie?
Yeah, and that was kind of bizarre too, because before Twinkie introduced him, you thought that he was actually like, I think Twinkie thought that he liked her.
Yeah, and remember, he said that Karen's like, I always say you go for the pretty girls in the church. So that leaves next probably Dorinda. So, she was singing Thick of It real hard.
I told you, didn't I see that video today when she was singing Bodak Yellow? And then, and just like I forgot to say this, the mama said when Twinkie got married, she told Twinkie, the first man to show you a little attention, that's why you need me, because you don't know about it. The first man to show you some attention, you want to go run off and marry him. So,
and that made it seem like she was a little
Yeah,
quick to
I always
which
thought Twinkie.
yeah. So it's like we got confirmation, but respectfully, it's like
Yeah,
okay,
because
we
she
said why they
Twinkie
kind of
Clark, regardless of how slow she is, the bad choices she done
yeah.
made, she's still Twinkie Clark. So
And again, in that time, no one really spoke on, especially in church, mental health. So of course, they're not going to put out there, oh yeah, well, she was in a mental ward, whatever. So of course, they're not going to say that, especially in church. It's always black people. We keep our business to ourselves. We keep it on the low low. We don't let the outside world know what's going on. So again, all of this more than likely shit happens in church. So I kind of believe Nasty Niecy. Like some stuff may have gone down.
I think a
She
whole lot
may
of
have
it gone. I think a whole lot of
yeah.
it went down. And again,
Yeah.
she's telling her truth. She's telling her side of the story.
Yes. Right.
From the way it went down with her and her involvement. So I think a lot of it went down. And it just goes to show again. This is why I don't fuck with the church too hard. Or whatever. I can't fuck with it the
Yes.
long way. And like I told you, when I get back in the church, once this big Rona is over, I am gonna go AME. I think because we've all had our issues. You know what I'm saying? I should say we all have had our issues, but we've all have seen things in the church that we know that was done and that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying?
Is that like I told you about before Reverend Knight became pastor, Clifton Wilson, who was the reverend for like years, like even when my grandmother was alive, he was the preacher at the church. And it come to find out it was these three girls that's always sat in the back. It was the two daughters and the mother. First lady, she played the organ up in the pews, pastor in the front, and my mom and sister would always call them Venus and Serena. And it was like, I thought y'all just being shady, whatever. Okay. But come to find out that the mother with the two daughters was fucking around with the pastor. The pastor funded her house, cars, everything under the sun, while First Lady still driving this 2000 Mercury, what's that, Sable. So again, stuff happened in the church, and it came out actually when he died. I was like, what type of kingdom come stuff is this? So, you never know what happens in the church behind the scenes because people keep it on the low low until that one moment happened. And like they always say, what's done in the dark comes to the light. So, it's going to come out
It's gonna come
regardless.
up in the wash.
Yes.
So
So now, Larry Reed, you know damn well that this is a woman that's broken because she separated from her family. Like she hasn't spoken to her family since
and you get your
1994.
ass
That's
whipped for
before he
this
retired.
fuck shit, this messy ass interview. Now, did we enjoy it?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Was it interesting? Hell yeah. Was it funny? Hell the fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But bitch, you going to hell for the fuck shit that you done. Then y'all up here talking, you telling this woman that you gonna get Phaedra Parks on her case because basically she hasn't received any royalties. She stated that even when like all of the original tracks that she sung on, like even when she left the group and they were still
Mm-hmm.
getting paid for some of the original things like albums and things like that, she was
Mm-hmm.
told that she was supposed to get, they were splitting it 4 ways equally. And she stated that the few checks that she did get, the checks had been, the envelopes had been open. Now I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
bitch, now was they sending you cash money in these envelopes? Because how can somebody go in and tamper with a check? See,
Yeah,
this is
right.
the bipolar, just
Something
all
ain't
over the
right.
place. Like you said,
Yeah.
something ain't right. Stuff that we was talking about. Was they sending you cash money? Because she stated that the envelopes had clearly been open and somebody had tampered with the money. So I'm like, well, okay, how could somebody tamper with a check? Or whatever.
Right.
And so then she was stating that I guess a couple years ago, Twinkie told her something about they was gonna get paid. They were gonna get paid for one of their songs or a couple of their songs that she was on and Twinkie, and to be expecting a certain amount of money. And
Mm-hmm.
Twinkie, and she was to call Twinkie if she did not receive that amount. But then she said, well, shit, after I thought about it, shit, Twinkie ain't got no sense over her own
Right.
goddamn money. So shit, I never see that check if it's left to, Jacky and Dorinda and Karen to make sure I get it. Cause shit, Twinkie ain't got money, ain't got no control over her own shit.
Exactly. So then that
She said because according to them, Jacky's name is on all of Twinkie's property.
yeah,
Whatever real property that she has, whatever assets that she has, bank accounts, Jacky's name is on that stuff.
like she the POA, power of attorney or
Yeah.
something.
Well, according to her, the court told her that she's been that lady's court appointed legal guardian for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
And
So again, that make you have to think, okay, something's been wrong with her mentally or whatever, because who would need a guardianship at that
yeah,
age?
and then she said that I guess I think it was the Essence Festival. Twinkie was not with them, and she said because Twinkie was mad because they had just once again Jacky had her thrown in the hospital. Now I don't know if this was for
Mm-hmm.
medical reasons or psych reasons, but they had her put in the hospital or whatever right before a couple of different performances. And then
Mm-hmm.
Twinkie was, I'm not gonna sing with them. I'm not gonna sing with them. Then I guess they tell her something, fix her hair, put on a, beat her face real quick, and then they convince her to come on out with the rest of the group. So it's just a
Mm-hmm.
whole mess.
Yes. So Larry Reed, you got a special place in hell.
Yes, because them damn comments, they was in his ass. So just like goddamn well, your ass don't give a shit about these bitches, meaning no offenses. You did this shit for clicks and views, and I hope it's worth every penny. They said they hope whatever he get, he at least splitting it with that woman because you not exploiting that woman like that. And then
Exactly.
up there talk about you gonna get Phaedra Parks on her case because again she hasn't been paid any royalties. They was gonna have. She stated that Phaedra Park's assistant has already reached out to her about this movie to discuss whether or not there is some to discuss, I guess, whether or not there is some any if they made, I guess, if the Clark sisters actually made any money off this film, whether or not she's due anything. And
I mean,
And then Larry, again with your messy ass, you up here encouraging this woman to come out with a new album and a new solo project, and got this woman up here talking about giving out her cash app because she said it ain't no money. I don't have no money to do this project.
I know. And you on her team, like you got her team set up, and you part of the team and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then she said, and then he up there embarrassing the shit out of her because her
Telling her,
son, supposedly this oldest son Larry, he supposedly is a producer, and supposedly
yeah.
he done produced like several. Well, she claims that he worked on several projects for Twinkie, but they never really saw the light of day because Jacky and Dorinda and Karen would block the projects from coming out because he worked on them. And
Mm-hmm.
then she said that and Larry kept saying, well, if your son is a producer, how come he ain't producing none of your stuff? And then she sit
You're
up
right.
there, can't answer none of them questions. I said, to you, a messy ass queen is what your ass is.
Right.
And
So
when there's
then,
something she couldn't answer, well, let me take you to the scripture and let me tell you what the scripture said. Now, I will say the fucked up thing is she did, stated that her youngest son actually lost his son at 19 months old. He was brutally beat. The baby was brutally beat by the
yeah.
mother's boyfriend. And she stated that not one of them sent her a card. She kept saying, see, this is the other again. There's that borderline between, does she have a mental illness herself? Because she kept saying they didn't send her no telegram. No what, ma'am?
You're right. Telegram and a 2019,
Yeah.
2020 kind of.
She kept saying they didn't send me no telegram. I can understand the card. Nobody called you. Nobody texted you. But she said she was looking for a telegram. I'm like, what?
Goodness. Okay, so I'm on Twinkie Clark's Instagram page. So her and Larry did come out with an album in February. Called what's it called? Valentine's Day new album this Friday. Download link in bio. 10 years together in music ministry. Aunt and nephew album. Auntie and nephew. And the album is called. If y'all want to listen to it, it is called The Generations. Okay, Larry. I suppose.
Where is your
Anywho,
mama's album? Is the question.
right? Why you not helping your mama with her album, nigga? And then another thing too, Denise, you're too old to be interacting in these people's comments. I'm pretty sure you're a grandmother. You got time because you don't got the money. So you need to go out here and make some money, especially in the COVID-19 kind of world. You got enough
What?
time right now to try to get some resources
Well,
together.
I know she said she does a lot of prison ministry, and just like I said,
That,
when she couldn't answer a question, well, let me take you to the scripture, and then she just be
right,
just all over the place.
all off the rail, man. And then her sons are low key a little messed up too because they had to actually see their mother endure this stuff. So they, of course, they're going to be fed what their mother's telling them. So of course they're going to have some hatred
Yeah,
towards the rest of the three amigos, if you will, because we see Larry's cool and tight with Auntie Twinkie because they've been doing albums together for 10
and he
years.
lives with her, and then
Yeah,
they was asking her about Twinkie's son. And she said she said, "Oh, you heard about John John?"
yeah,
And he
John John.
was like,
Yeah,
"No, I mean, you don't know about John John?" And he was like, "No, I mean, what's going on? I mean, you really don't know about John John?" Then they go
yeah,
that borderline mental stuff again, and she was like, "Well,
yes,
he's incarcerated."
yes, John John and jail. And and then the son. Which one was it? Was it Larry that said that it's a scandal that would be so big it'll
Yeah, and that's the whole. I think that's the whole. Somebody slept with
with the
somebody's husband because
yeah.
supposedly Larry wrote a screenplay, and
Hmm.
I want to say this screenplay was actually I guess they put it on, and and this is what I
It was like a little thing play.
yeah about the Clark sisters and what I couldn't understand. Larry got a whole ass wife. Why is y'all living in Twinkie Clark house?
Right.
So you know it was I don't know what to say.
Exactly. It was bizarre. It was entertaining to us, but at the end of the day, here on the show, we could be entertained as and crazy as hell all we want to, but at the same time, we still got a heart, and we're like, look, something's definitely wrong with Nasty Niecy, that she don't need to do no more interviews and they read you and basically just taking advantage of the situation because of the fact that it was okay with the one part, like the first part from last year. Okay, that's all cool and great, but now we're doing part fours and stuff. Nah, now you really taking it over the edge where you really, using this woman for clickbaits and views and stuff like that. They were trying to act like you're not gay, but you're a whole okay. We're not gonna go there, but it is what it is. You're just a messy queen. It is what it
He
is.
said
So,
he was not messing around and sleeping with pastors.
nigga, you mess with the youth ministry, whatever. But anywho, so and well, let me say allegedly, but so yeah, but it was very entertaining overall because of the fact that again, this is someone who grew up on this group. Their legacy won't probably be tainted by any of this information that Nancy Niecy is saying because from the outside world, it's looking like, oh, she's just a hating ass
Yeah, and she
sister
bitter.
who's invited
Yeah,
to the
and she's
party.
bitter. Yeah, because she was kicked out the group, and no matter what she says, like you said, it's just she just mad because she wasn't invited to the party.
Right, and look, and let Nasty Larry try to tell her. He trying to get her a spot on Ayala Fits My Life. So, Ayala, I don't know if you want to fix this family. They say to work for the Pay Sisters. Remember that episode? So,
And she was like, "Oh yeah, I did hear something about them being up there." But you saw that episode like everybody else saw that
right,
episode. Oh yeah, I did hear something about them being up there.
and you, and
And
so,
honestly, I don't think I would watch that. To be honest, now I didn't really heard Lisa's side of the story. I honestly wouldn't
uh,
be interested in watching that.
not at all. Like this is just something. I mean, we sometimes it just happen in life. You just have those siblings you just don't talk to. Like Mariah Carey got the one sister she don't talk to, the one that was tricking out here for dollars and got AIDS and whatnot. She don't talk to her because she tried to fuck her over. So it happens in family. You just don't talk to your siblings or parents or whatever. Sometimes your family just there to be your family, but sometimes they gotta be axed out if they just not bring nothing to the program. And um, it's sad, but it's the reality. And hopefully, one day, especially in the COVID-19 kind of world where everything is short, hopefully they can get back together and just get some type of communication after 26 years. But if
Yes, I
not,
tell you what, y'all need to leave Larry Reid ass out your goddamn business.
yes, keep my no parts of it because the next thing that's going to happen, Niecy's never going to release the album because she was told all these hopes and dreams about Larry Reid just for the show. It ain't shit going to happen.
Yeah, and that Cash App money, because she kept saying, some site she said she wanted, because she said, well, there's a GoFundMe account up. There's a GoFundMe account. And he was like, nah, don't use the GoFundMe because you get that Cash
Yeah,
App, that comes to you right away. That GoFundMe, you got to go through this person, that person, they got to divide it before you get it. I'm like, yeah, just like you ain't getting that woman Cash App too.
exactly. Oh, scamming ass queen. But anywho, so but real quick before we cause we're just gonna do like a little synopsis of Chasing Dallas. But real quick on during the Lifetime movie, we did see a lot of stuff that's coming on the
Yeah,
site.
something for the quarantine is what I'm calling it. So yeah,
Yeah, so we got Salt and Pepper biopic, which we mentioned, which was supposed to be a mini series, but they're just gonna make it a full out movie now. I'm going to be judging that with a close eye because, of course, the Spinderella situation, and then of course with
they're
the person supposed to be playing Pepper, don't look like Pepper, but we're
not
gonna
at
watch
all.
the movie. We're gonna see what happens. It's gonna be a Wendy Williams night. Kind of know she's supposed to be doing the biopic, and then the next night is gonna be like this. Like they mentioned it, the
It's
what
called
they named this?
Wendy Williams Want a Mess. So guys,
Yeah,
and then they're gonna be doing
either Whitney, Bobby.
yes,
I mean, Bobby
Whitney
Christina
and
though.
Bobby Christina, they're gonna be doing some type of documentary on the two of them. And
Yeah, then we almost
and
it
then I
all.
think this coming Saturday there is a movie with Keisha Knight Paulium.
Yeah, which look very TV One-ish, but it looked like it's going to be on the good grand scale. So
Yeah.
might have
So
to check it out.
it looks like Lifetime is trying to give us a little something for the quarantine. I think they know that this stay at home order is gonna be pushed way past June the 10th. So
Right, they can us all the content for
yeah,
colors.
and so you guys know, no, we didn't live tweet. I think we were so engrossed in the Clark Sisters movie, we didn't live tweet. And I don't really know if we're gonna live tweet. I don't know if I'm gonna live tweet doing the Salt and Pepper or Wendy Williams or Whitney Houston thing. I think I'm gonna be so engrossed into the TV, but
Right,
definitely
that's what we're here for the show. You catch our recap on the show. So again, people, thank you all for listening to our show. We definitely hopefully kept y'all well informed and took y'all to church. With this episode, with some Clark Sisters drama and movie information, and just the overall legacy of a great group like the Clark Sisters. Again, people, we definitely want y'all to follow us and continue to listen to the show. We're on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Mr. Doc, MRDOC, at Cookie Love 1980 for
and
Monique.
please let me know if you guys know
Facebook.
any mobile nail
Oh yeah,
techs.
mobile nail text in the area. Also on Facebook.com/FNL Radio. Listen to us on Anchor, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, on each platform of choice. And again, people, hopefully y'all stay safe. Take heed to all the information that they've given you all for the COVID-19 and this how to stay safe out here in these streets. And don't bust people's heads with
Use your
bottles.
words, people. Use your motherfucking words.
And don't stab no one either, people. But we thank you all. You have a good rest of your night and day.